Ironic Radio Network, 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m., Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
What up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Bros. It is the early edition, a.k.a. Taco Tuesday. We've got a great show lined up for you. With that being said, not a kid-friendly show, adult language, adult content. Do the right thing, people. Put your kids in the closet.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
8-Bit Bros Tuesday, early edition. Taco Tuesday. Center box gets a square.
What up, people?
Yeah, to the left, me, Web Boy. You should know it by now. Over there to the right, 846 miles south. The one and only Thumpin' Loud. And I just got to start right off the bat. Thank God. No drugs. No alcohol. No white women in the car.
Oh, Tiger.
Good luck on your recovery, Tiger.
Yeah, what is it? Massive broke both his legs.
Both. One's a fucking compound, through the leg.
Shattered.
Yeah, supposedly. No, compound fracture. That's the one that goes through the leg, right? When you see the bone.
Yeah, that's the one that comes out of the skin.
Yeah. Allegedly. I mean, we don't know. They made I listened to the 5 o'clock report from the police commissioner. No drugs were found. They don't really say much about his update. Of course, TMZ's got all the information. How the fuck they do that? The car looked. He looked like
it's just because they've got more people out there doing it. Like, he's got people all over the place just digging all the time. That's what they do.
Yeah. Marty, is that his name? Something like that? I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But
TMZ? Isn't that Perez Hilton?
No. That fucking idiot.
It used to be Perez Hilton.
No. Perez Hilton was always PerezHilton.com.
Oh, I thought he started someplace.
No. He's never with TMZ. Nothing.
Can I give New Jersey a congratulations? You finally did it.
Oh yeah, big shout out! Like, finally.
And how about this? So I'm reading the article, and it's a very, very short article on how the governor signed it and everything's great. And then the last paragraph of this article is the commissioner of the New Jersey State Police has told all of his officers, do not approach or try and apprehend anyone with marijuana on a marijuana-related charge, because you may open yourselves up to a civil, what was it? It was like a civil discriminatory suit because weed's now legal, theoretically.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
Avoid anyone, whether they're minors or majors. It doesn't matter.
Right, and
avoid the situation.
Wait. The big problem here is what was holding up the bill was how to deal with underage smokers. So now you can't even go up to anybody smoking weed. You can't even ask them for ID. Oh, you're 21. It's okay. Sorry to bother you. Sorry. You shouldn't do that out here. You're only really supposed to do that in your house. Even though it's recreational, doesn't mean you walk around the streets doing it. This isn't Amsterdam. Not the way it works, but it's okay. You're above age. You're good. Kids are supposed to fucking get busted and go do community service. So I don't understand. And you ready for this? They combined the weed law for underagers with the alcohol law. So now you don't get in trouble for underage drinking.
All right.
But it's okay because
So now New Jersey's essentially the Wild Wild West.
weed's legal. I looked up the tax rate schedule today, okay? And it took me an hour to comprehend this. I had to read this chart and click on all its shit like 5 or 6 times to digest it. So if you buy weed at an ounce, okay, and you buy some reg dirt seeded up
Brickweed.
weed,
We'll call it brickweed.
okay, at $150 an ounce, you got to pay $71 tax.
Whew.
Okay. $71 tax. But if you buy the primo weed, $350 an ounce, you only pay like $34 tax. Still coming in under $400 an ounce. Interesting.
But this is New Jersey, and ounce prices are going to be in the $600 to $700 range. So.
Oh no, it's not, dude. You go to the dispensary, it's $49, no, $59 for an eighth. Your drug dealer's charging you 50.
50 to 60,
Right.
regionally
60.
still.
Right.
Yeah.
Because why? Because they're getting their weed for whatever price and charging you, the consumer, $400 an ounce. Do the math. If it's 50 an eighth, $50 times 8 is $400. So it's just.
It's
God, I
amazing.
remember the days that I
50.
used to spend 20 an eighth.
Yeah, dirt weed.
No, it wasn't even dirt weed.
I got a wire going bad here. It's pissing me off. I'm gonna try and deal with it though.
It's just crazy that inflation, man, inflation.
What I thought was interesting though is like, you can't go to a dispensary and buy dirt weed. Unless that's going to be like for the recreational dispensaries, because you're not going to be able to go into a medical facility and get recreational weed. That's for medical people.
No, you go to a medical facility, you're getting medical grade.
That's going to be the same.
Which has to be medical grade. I'm sure has to meet some criteria in order to be classified as medical.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like a certain percentage of THC in the particular batch.
Yeah, but everything
for it to be
Everything gets
classified
documented. It all has to be tested before sold.
Sure.
And it all gets documented on what levels of all the variants there are for it. And for medical grade, there is a certain tolerance acceptance that it has to meet for what it's treating.
You got many Leafly.com,
cancer, Parkinson's, and all that.
Leafly.com, WikiLeaf.
Have you ever looked up Jimmy Buffett's strain? He has 3 strains that he is growing and promoting.
Why not?
I don't remember what it's called, but he got into the weed business too.
Yeah, there's this Coral Reefer.
There it is.
Yeah, I think everybody with some sort of influence in that department has tagged their way into it. I mean, from hip hop artists to
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett. I mean, people who fit the criteria. It's like, all right, you could probably put something together and sell this out pretty well. Mike Tyson.
Now his shit is medical and it's vape, and it's vape. It's not weed. It's vape.
Oh, it's only vape. Okay, I never looked into it. They just promoted on the Jimmy Buffett or Margaritaville Sirius channel. Hey, if you're one of those people, blah 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 blah, check out Jimmy Buffett's strain of Coral Reefer.
It fits like his fans would vape.
4 potencies, low tide.
Well, you got to remember, Jimmy Buffett's been around. He's been a pothead forever, and the name of his band is the Coral Reefer Band, and it has nothing to do with reefs.
Right.
It kind of does.
It play on words.
Yeah, and play on words. Yeah, it does.
A double entendre, if you want to call it
of
that.
sorts.
So he does vapes in 4 potencies. Okay, the name of the company is Coral Reefer, and his strains are, I believe they're all have to do with the tide. So it's low tide for a high CBD, mid-tide for a 1-to-1 THC CBD balance, high-tide for a 4-to-1 THC CBD blend, and tsunami, which is pure THC.
Woo!
This cartridge has a tropical inspired names: Sea of the Day, Surfing in a Hurricane, Cabana Daydreaming, and Stories We Couldn't Tell. Oh, excuse me, Stories We Could Tell. I guess that would be the tsunami.
No.
No, that would
I think
the
the in a
stories
hur-
we
I
could
think the
tell
in a
is
hurricane I
probably
think the in a hurricane is the tsunami.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Stories we could tell are going to be what you actually can remember, as opposed to the all THC, which is probably all sativa, which means you're dumb as rocks when you're smoking it and not going to remember shit the next day.
Yeah, I just got recently invited out to Colorado, and that was kind of the funniest thing. The first thing they said is like, "Yeah, we get you these Moon Rocks joints." I was like, right up my alley.
Okay,
Be
so here you
stupid
go.
as all get up as soon as I got there.
Cabana Daydreaming is a 1-to-1. Seas of the Day is a 4-to-1. And Surfing in a Hurricane, a THC only strain that falls under the tsunami strength level.
Yes,
So there you go. Surfing in a Hurricane is your.
What's the stories we could tell?
that's the
Doesn't-
CBD.
Yeah, I guess it must be.
That's
just
got to be the CBD.
Yeah, it's got to be the CBD. Because this one said cannabis and it leaves that one out. So that one's got to be the CBD.
So, is in this law
Well,
anywhere stating how many dispensaries can be in the state?
Who is this? This is Weed Maps. I'm sorry, bro, but this is a poorly written article. It's poor. It's poorly written. My editor.
Is there anything said in the law that was written how many actual recreational dispensaries can be in the state, or is it like liquor
no.
stores and anybody can sell?
No. From what I understand, it's going to be 13 across the state. It could be more, but it's 13 to start, and they want to get that done relatively quickly. For all you people wanting to know, what about your priors? If you're on probation, call your probie officer and ask. If not, call the local police station and find out. I don't even know if they fucking know yet, but allegedly all your priors are squashed. Never happened. It should be really good for a lot of people looking for jobs in certain areas or federal level where they do criminal background checks.
Everybody pretty much does a criminal background check anymore.
Oh, they caught him with weed. That means he's a pothead. I can't hire him. Oh, weed's legal.
You know, on every job application is that little checkbox: have you ever been arrested for a felony?
Yeah, that's always a no. Go do your research. I'm not going to give it up. Go do your research. But yeah, so you got legalized weed. It's still got way to go, but it is legal. Doesn't mean you can walk around and smoke it. Have courtesy for children and other people. Do the right thing. Don't fucking waste an opportunity that's pretty much handed to you to not get fucking in trouble anymore. And possibly always have a good supply of good weed in New Jersey.
Is there anything in the law that states that it has to be locally grown, or is it import-export?
I don't know. I didn't see any details in that, but I didn't read the full bill because all I read was the earmarks after it was signed. And I don't think it was set into public record yet. So I'd have to go look up and see if it's out there. It's 3 separate bills that were passed. It's the marijuana law, tax act law, the tax law, and the cleanup bill. The cleanup bill is your fines. The tax law is the tax law. And the legalization bill is to set up the entire government that needs to control. You got to have an office for this now. We got to have a cannabis corp group. You got to control it all. Next thing you need to do, people, in legislation is stop penalizing the weed industry by not letting them deposit money in a fucking bank.
Oh, that's the federal government, FDIC.
Okay?
Yeah.
That is asinine.
Yeah. Well, it's
'Cause, you know-
it's a federal issue at that point. It's not
Right.
anything to do with these places that are legalizing
But
it.
you know, here's the problem with that, okay? You're legalizing it on the state level all over the place. Any fucking day now. under Biden or the next president, it will be classified as a Class D and no longer a Class A, which is nothing more than a slap on the wrist. Don't do it in public, which is what we have now at the state levels. These companies, you're taxing them, you know what you're making, you know how much they're making. They put that money in the bank, it gets invested, force them to and fucking invest 25% of their profits into the community. The rest of the money's going in the stock market. The more money they make, the more you can tax interest and capital gains and short-term gains. Oh, so there's more taxes to be made. It's stupid. And then what? The Fed still can come in and bust them. Look at poor California and Colorado when they fucking went in and shut them all down. It's retarded. Just fix it. Fix the whole system. It's broken. You got other states declassifying every fucking drug. You can go to, what is it? Portland and fucking go to a store and get heroin? I want heroin with like 10% fentanyl, please. What's the other state that mushrooms? You can go buy them in a fucking deli.
It's Colorado.
Yeah, it was Colorado. It wasn't Wyoming. Another one declassified everything. Crystal meth. It's okay. Fuck it. We lost the crystal meth, so it's legal. Just fix it. It's retarded. I wonder how much money Jimmy Buffett's making off of his vape. It's a Florida company.
Probably a ton. Like when I was down there last, I did notice that there was a trend among that age group,
right?
That very much like were trying to not do the smoking, and they were drinking lighter beer, and so they were vaping and drinking all these lighter beers, and in Florida, this is their thing. So yeah, it fits the area definitely to be a Florida-based company, and I see the age bracket. Yeah, people are getting away from like the nastiness of cigarette smoke to a degree in a lot of places.
If I'm not mistaken, his CEO and chair of the company is William Bo Wrigley Jr. Wrigley Gum. The heir to Wrigley Gum's empire of fortune, I believe, is involved in this company.
Sweet.
Fucking good move for him, man.
Well, Jimmy Buffett
it's
also has an affinity with Wrigley Field.
Yes.
That's his favorite place to play.
Yeah.
So is it the same family?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. William Bo Wrigley Jr., heir to the Wrigley Gum empire of fortune.
There you go.
Wrigley Gum. If it's Wrigley Field, it's got to be sponsored. Is it sponsored? It's got to be sponsored. That's Cubs, right? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they own it. Who the fuck knows? Somebody can fact check Google that shit.
Bo Wrigley.
But big time into it's all medical marijuana for Florida. Yeah, 20 storefronts initially, and then to move to Nevada and California, which may have already happened by now. When was this article written? This article was written 2 years ago when he launched the company. Still a poorly written article. Fucked up. Thump, what's your state doing about drugs and legalization?
Dragging their heels.
Is there bills on the floor?
It's the Ricketts family that owns Wrigley Field.
Ricketts, right. They must sponsor it, though, right?
William Wrigley Jr. is the chairman and former CEO of W.M. Wrigley Jr. Company.
Okay.
He turned over office of CEO to William Perez in 2006, who is a former CEO of Nike and SC Johnson.
Okay, so William Wrigley Jr. of the Wrigley Company acquired the Cubs in 1921.
Oh, okay.
It was named Cubs Park 1920 to 26 before being named
That's
Wrigley
his father.
Field in 27. but now is owned by the Ricketts, not the Wrigleys.
Okay.
And William Perez is the first non-Wrigley to head up the W.M. Wrigley Jr. company.
The Tribune Company buys the Cubs, from Wrigley family for $20 million and a half, ending the longest continuous operation of a franchise by the same family in one city.
Mm-hmm.
Chewing gum magnate William W. Wrigley purchased control of the Cubs and renames Weeman Park to Cubs Park in 1926.
Here's the crazy thing. So William Wrigley Jr. is the second.
Yeah.
Wrigley Jr. the second, right?
Right.
Oh, he's a junior.
And then you have Philip K. Wrigley, who ran the Wrigley Company between 1932 and 1961. In 1961 to 1999, William Wrigley III ran the company. And then from 1999 to 2006, William Wrigley IV ran the company. And then it was William Perez, Deshaun Duke Petrovich, Martin Rodvon, and currently their president is Andrew Clark.
If you're a Cubs fan, you are running out of time to purchase your brick. Bricks will be installed before the 2022 season.
Yep. This is true.
Yep. I own bricks at a couple different places. That's why I mentioned it. People out there like doing that shit. I think I've got 4 bricks now. 4 bricks around the world. Yeah, 4. It's fun. I don't know why. Just is. Go back there someday. Look, there's my brick. Can I scrape the bubble gum off that?
Well, it's like people buying that 1x1 in Scotland.
I thought about that. Just to have Lord in front of it. Lord Webboy. Come on. I thought about that. What is it, like fucking $40 to get a 1x1?
Yeah.
Some shit like that?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, it's not.
Lord Thumpin' Loud.
Lord Thumpin' Loud.
Come on, it'd be fucking. I think it'd be good. We should all do it.
Dude, I am over the top right now with my fucking. You got me thinking about now. As soon as you said Lord, I was like, yeah, I'm building this fucking castle right now.
In Valhalla?
Yeah, Valhelm.
I know. I was being very...
It's the purgatory of Valhalla.
Yes.
Of sorts. It's fun though. But yeah, I'm building a castle. Yes, I am. I just started, I found this really smooth ass location on a continent, which there's a lot of islands in the game. And the only reason I called this a continent is because between 2 of my islands, I saw this coastline. And I was like, well, let me go over here and check out this coastline. And I start running down, and it takes me from, like, the center of the map almost out to the edge of the map.
Okay.
And then I start going up the other side of this place, right? Now, it's still a huge island, but it's massive. I mean, just massive. And it contains the plains biome, the meadows, the black forest, the swamps, the mistlands, which is something that doesn't have a place in the game yet. It's there, but it's not. The game's not built up to that point yet.
Yeah.
So, like, there's resources and enemies and stuff there that we fight them, and the stuff you get from them really doesn't do anything right now. There's no recipes to learn from them. There's no nothing. It's just like you're just there, kind of like getting your ass kicked, too, because the shit there's strong as fuck. But, I found this marshland area between a swamp and a meadow that had these 2 little creeks that were running up into this deep embankment in a hillside. And so I decided to terrace out the hillside with walls. And in the base of it, I'm building my castle. I just started it on the front porching area today that'll overlook the marshland into the swamp.
Okay.
And the first layer wall's done and second layer wall's done. I still haven't put like the plants or anything in the terraces or built like final designs on how the terraces are going to look. But yeah, I'm having a ton of fun, and I'm not doing this in creative mode either.
Well, okay, I wouldn't even have asked that.
Well, now that a lot of people have found out that there is creative mode and are starting to understand how to use the console commands, you can only do it in private servers, your personal private servers, solo. It can't be done in world servers like co-ops at all. But they're going in and they're spawning in all the stuff they need to build these very, very extravagant builds in that game. And this is a company that 3 weeks ago, pretty much these 5 people, nobody ever even knew who they were.
Okay. Hey, Ren.
You.
I got you an update here. Could take another year to be able to buy weed legally in New Jersey.
Yes.
The first thing, no matter what, is the 100,000+ patients need to be served. So dispensaries have to be set up for that. So it's the same weed. Medical marijuana is going to be for everybody's general joy, play, fun.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Plus some other lower grades will be added to the bunch to make a commercial market.
Several of the current companies plan to open new dispensaries this spring or expand their growing capacity, which would help ease the burden on the current 13. There are 13 dispensaries now. The agency could issue up to 24 new licenses. So there's your 37
stores.
Where can you smoke weed? Smoking or using marijuana in public places was prohibited. But legalization laws will also allow for consumption lounges. Cigar bar, a weed bar. Hash bar, a weed bar. Kind of cool. Where you going? A weed bar. Those along with dispensaries.
Yeah, but you're gonna go to the weed bar and you'd be like, you know what? That was great. I'm just so high right now. That was like really great. Like the ambiance, the mood, everything was totally cool. I'm fucking thirsty. I need a beer.
Well, sure, I'm sure they'll serve there too. I mean, it's not
No,
like
I don't think those two are going to be able to mingle like that. Your ABC permit and a marijuana permit, I don't think they're going to allow those to roll premise to premise.
But if they
I am with Thump 100% on that.
Dude, if they cross the penalty laws and combined the two as being one and the same,
private clubs may be able to get away with something like that because they still had smokers regulations that they could enforce, right? They had their own in your state, or did they do a full-out ban? Because
the only privates
we had private establishments that could smoke.
The only privates we have technically are like Elks Clubs and
where you can still smoke.
American Legion,
right?
Those are it. Like Pennsylvania, Commonwealth, North Carolina, anything like that, they have the private club where you pay your membership dues.
Right. And then the bar operates as a normal bar from the 1970s and 80s.
Now, there's no limit.
It's a private club. Like, if you don't have a key, you don't get in the door.
Yes,
you bring someone in because you have a key, they're paying.
Right, or membership card and stuff like that. Like, yes, that's exactly how they run, but it's the membership is to be able to operate of a time of old is what it is. You're paying for the caveat of being able to go back in time.
So, Ren, you asked if it was going to be locally grown or brought in. I think even Thump might have mentioned that. I'm not sure, but anyway,
both talked about how that's done from state to state, because we talked about what states that are less likely to be grower states, like Chicago, like Illinois, like the legalization that they go through there versus legalization in like Colorado versus legalization in California. Like, how do they cross are these streams being made available? Strands being made available for everybody around the country? Is there like what type of shipping is allowed?
What it looks like here, there'll be no limit to the number of storefronts in the state of New Jersey, but the law does limit the number of new licenses to grow marijuana to 237 in the first 2 years of legislation. So that leads me to believe that it's grow it here and smoke it here, kind of like Colorado. I don't know what California does, but California's so big, I'm sure they don't need to import weed anywhere. They got lots of mountains. They can grow plenty of good weed.
I mean, I think that's what's holding North Carolina back.
Good growing area.
Oh no, we have the greatest of growing areas, but the thing is we don't want our state doesn't want to get into it unless we can sell it out of state because we are going to do like tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our shit will be sold everywhere. If we're going to grow it, we're going to sell it to every fucking buddy. And because we can't sell it to everybody, I think that's the reason why we're not making it.
How much weed can I have? Can I still be arrested? So for everybody out there, you I don't know.
Yeah, there's certain every place that's done some sort of legalization on a recreational route has defined acceptable carry amounts.
Yeah. So if you're a small-time drug dealer, have no fear. You're allowed to have up to 6 ounces of weed without facing arrest or fines, and that takes effective immediately, even though there are no dispensaries open to legally buy weed. So you got a good 6 months to a year to push your up to 6 ounces. That's your quarter pounder, people. Picking up a quarter pound, bro. You want any?
As long as it doesn't go across state lines, you're in good shape.
Unfortunately, the one thing that was taken out of the bill, there is no grow your own.
Well, no, because of the 37 license agreement.
Yes.
They're not going to allow small plot growth.
Yes.
Right.
Well, the senator who, Cardinal, I think it's Cardinal, L-E and not E-L, Cardinal. He died like last week, and he was the guy who was like, you got to let people grow the weed, 6 plants. And he died, and they tore it out of the bill. Sale of edibles is permitted.
Ooh, I wonder what their regulations on those are going to be.
The regulations on that are, far as I know right now, you cannot make them into the shapes of characters, peoples, or animals, or trademark products that children might mistake for regular candy.
No gummy bears.
They have had a issue with that, even with the customers that have legally purchased them in areas. Oops, I left my gummy bears on the counter. Now my kid has eaten 5.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to eat 1. What do I do?
How do you make an edible that into shapes of characters, people, animals?
No gummy bears.
Animal crackers.
No worms. That means no gummy fucking any kind of animal, period.
Yeah, you just make a dot.
You get
make a
gummy
dot.
cube.
Yeah, gummy
cube,
gummy dot. Yeah.
No, that's a trademark product. Can't be a Starburst.
Well, it's gummy. It's not a trademark product in gummy form.
Okay. Packaging and labeling must show THC content if you're under 20.
As regulated per pretty much everywhere that they legalize.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're under 21, you get a warning that escalates.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
First time, it's a smack on the hand. Second time, it's your mommy. I'm going to tell your mommy now. And the third time, it's drug education, treatment, probably community service, too. Should take a class on why drugs are bad.
Okay.
This law also changes the penalties for underage drinking. Same thing. Warning, then your mommy, and then going back to rehab.
Uh-oh.
But you gonna put a fucking 18-year-old in rehab? I smoked some weed twice, man. Got caught. Got to go to rehab.
You're not a minor at 18.
No, it's 21. So yeah, you're a minor then still.
That
As
gets
per this
fishy,
law-
man.
as
That
per
gets
this law-
fishy.
As per this law, under 21, just like Alcohol? Cigarettes?
No, cigarettes are 18 in your
Is it?
state still.
I have no idea.
Cigarettes are 18 in our state still.
Can you lose your job for smoking weed?
Yes, you can lose your job for smoking weed because corporate policy is not hinged on the legality of states' rights.
The law bars an employer from firing or refusing to hire a person who uses marijuana in their free time. That means 9 to 5, no smoking weed. But it does allow employers who have reasonable suspicion that a worker has gotten high during work, they can drug test them and fire you.
Yeah, because you're definitely going to be positive. Because whether or not you're smoking before or after, they're going to fucking hit your ass anyway.
See, this was one of the things that this goes back to your Webby.
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation for years.
Yeah.
And you've always been against
Yes. I still am.
legalization of marijuana. And the one thing that's always stuck with me is your rationale for it.
Yep.
And your rationale has always been
Federal
the
work.
school bus driver.
Federal worker.
No, school bus driver.
Yeah, school bus driver
The
was
people
your...
driving your kids.
Public workers. Public. Right. Your train
But
driver.
you always drilled it down to the finite of the
Right.
school bus driver.
Right. I'm gonna put my fucking 6-year-old on a bus with a bus driver who's high as a motherfucker and just might accidentally cruise through the stop sign.
But your caveat to that was if you can figure out a way to test whether or not someone is currently high, as opposed to they got home from work last night and smoked a joint. Two totally different things.
Right. If you could
Got
do
home from
like
work,
alcohol.
smoked the joint, went to bed, woke up at 5 a.m., drank their coffee, brushed their teeth, took a shower, and got on the bus, not high, how do you regulate that?
Well, see, this is where the whole thing becomes sticky because there's no widely used test that for marijuana that can detect real-time intoxication. Doesn't exist.
Right.
So your test is
And there never will be.
last fucking days or weeks, depending on when you consumed it, how much body fat you have.
It's even stickier because you could get fired for your job and you could turn around and sue them for wrongful termination.
Well,
because they can't prove that you were high during the job.
No.
The only thing you can prove is you had THC in your system.
Right. So
and it's a proven fact that THC stays in your system for up to 30 days or 6 months with a hair test.
Yeah, days or weeks or whatnot. But that's why I would think that if they had reasonable suspicion, I don't know, you work at the fucking IRS and you got high and work and they caught you, you take a test, you're positive, obviously, because you're a pothead. I would assume it would be a warning.
But how does this? It's so.
I mean, they have the option of.
Let's take it elsewhere. Let's take it to like healthcare.
Well, then you got a card. You got a card. Then you're exempted from everything.
No. I'm talking healthcare employees.
Well, good question. I think it's dependent on the.
Like, does this gut every corporation, and we all know hospitals are corporations, so does this gut every corporation within the New Jersey state lines?
Would you feel
use our state that you can no longer drug test someone as a means of employment? Does that come off the table? Does random drug testing come off the table?
I don't know.
Does UPS?
Well, no, the random drug testing.
Randomized drug tests.
No, see, this is it. Randomized drug testing would stay on the table at that point, but testing for job entry essentially becomes not allowed.
On the table.
No, becomes not allowed because, like you said at the very beginning of that they could not. You can't be denied hirement.
No,
you said that.
Law, right. I'm gonna
read it again.
This is the third paragraph, which speaks specifically to what Thump is asking. The law also allows an employer to do randos, regular, or pre-employment screening, but it must include a scientifically reliable test of blood, urine, or saliva paired with a physical evaluation to determine if the employee is currently impaired, as well as a physical examination by an employee who undergoes training to spot marijuana impairment. So you can still have a rando.
We understand the rando. We agree with the rando as the action of what was stated in the first part of your statement, but the pre-hirement doesn't coincide with your earlier statement of
paragraph, which was the law bars an employer from firing or refusing to hire a person who uses marijuana in their free time.
Right. It doesn't.
Yes,
I mean, the pre-screening drug test, if it's used in any way, shape, or form to determine your employment, is exactly that, a violation. Paragraph 3 is a direct contradiction of paragraph 1.
No. Paragraph 3 is an extrapolation of paragraph 1 that's saying you can do all of these things, but you need to have a specialized person who can identify that at that specific moment in time that you are testing them,
according to the pre-screening.
Right.
That's the weirdness of the pre-screening.
High.
Right. You have to.
It's like it doesn't matter how many times you prove that they get high. You have to prove they are actively high. That's a weird
this
spot.
This is what I said and that's why I brought it around. So I wasn't high when I went to work. Yeah, maybe I got bulgy eyes, like I, went on a bender and was up till 4:00 in the morning, and I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I looked dog tired. And yeah, I smoked some weed last night, and I had a couple beers and a couple shots, but I didn't get a lot of sleep. But I'm at work, but I look like I'm destroyed from the night before. You test me. I test positive for weed because I smoked pot. You fire me, and I turn around and get you for wrongful termination because I was not high at the time. Like,
you'd have a harder time proving that because they would take the you would be subject to like pictures and other things to validate. Like, I'm sure they would cover. They would cover it. So if you go by the description of what you said, where you looked fucking strung out, then yeah, they would be justified for firing you.
Came in with bloodshot eyes.
Yeah, if you did all of what you said you did, and they documented it as such, it doesn't matter.
But at the end of the day, you're not high.
Yeah, but you would not be able to prove that as much as they would have enough documentation to go, see, he looked like he was tore up, and he tested positive, and that's all they need. That's all they need.
At the end of the day, the only way I'm going to believe this is we've got you on videotape where you thought you were in that corner where there were no video cameras.
That's going to happen 1,000 times. That's going to happen 1,000 times.
Right, dude, if you fucking bust into your boss's office at fucking 9:02 in the morning, fucking bloodshot-eyed, squinted, and be like, yo, dude, did you see the game? You're fucking high, and I'm writing you up.
Well, meanwhile, you also got a sleeve of Oreos in one hand.
Right, yeah.
And like a Gatorade or Snapple in the other.
Taxes. This is great. Thank you, Murphy, government, for all the potheaders out there. Customer will pay 7% sales tax. That's pretty much the state level. 7%. What are we, 6.85, whatever. So it's 7%. Municipality tax. This is what everybody was worried about. I
think ours is 7.25 across the board here for sales tax.
The big problem here in Jersey is half the state wanted it, half of it didn't. A lot of places right now already said no fucking stores in our town. End of story. Oh, you want one in this town? We'll tax you 50% because we can. Well, the government said, fuck you, it's 2% municipality. 2. So it's 9%. The law includes a sliding tax to be paid by cannabis growers, which will rise from $10 an ounce up to $60 an ounce as the price of marijuana falls over time. So I guess that was what I was talking about before. The price range, I guess right now it's going to be $350, but if we can sell enough weed, we can get it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, but we're going to tax you more and more. So I guess that's what it was. It was a reverse scale. Those taxes are most likely to be passed on to the customer in the cost of per ounce. There's your taxes coming right from you. This is a fun one. Can I come from New York or Pennsylvania to buy weed? Yeah, man, it's legal over there. Let's go over the bridge. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You can go to Colorado and buy it. You can buy an out of state. You just got to show your license and
anyone over
and you're only allowed to buy a certain amount. It's limited. In-state purchases are higher than out-of-state purchases.
Anyone over 21 in the Garden State can purchase weed from a dispensary, and that's what many hope will happen, generating more tax revenue in New Jersey, but also driving businesses to local restaurant shops and gas stations.
Well, yeah.
Cuomo has recently ramped up his efforts to legal marijuana, but visitors who buy in Jersey can't take it back. You're not allowed to take weed across state lines. But how fucking difficult is that going to be for New York and New Jersey to enforce? There is so much traffic. And what are you going to do? Pull somebody over for an ounce of weed? You just told me I could have that. I could have up to 6. What's the law in New York? It's a slap on the wrist for like an ounce. Something like that.
Yep.
But it's interesting. So there's some of the. I have the bills here. I'll read through them later tomorrow or something. I finally found them. The 3 bills he signed: S21 1897 and S34 54. That's the one I'm interested in. Understanding the laws for who gets caught, because it don't seem clear. Along with the hiring, firing, that don't seem very clear at all. No matter how you slice it and dice it. But just don't get high at work.
True.
You can smoke. You can smoke. You come home, you smoke. You get in the car, you smoke. You park in the garage. Don't drive smoking. I see too many people doing that. Parking lot. Smoke up. Listen to a tune.
I guarantee that's what all of the people right now in Valheim are doing, that are building ramps to send their characters to space.
Smoking up.
Gotta be.
Did either one of you play the medium?
No, because it did not get rave reviews.
Oh, it's dynamite.
I hear you.
It was absolutely dynamite. For a 20-hour play, it was storyline was good. I played and other people saw it.
I heard incessant rambling that made no sense to the storyline.
Did they make that for iPhone?
No, it's Xbox and iPhone.
So I need you to send me. I just had to go run to the boys' room, and I was talking to the lady. So I need you to send me whatever you were just reading. Send that to me, because I was filling her in on the conversation we were having, and she's like, "I need to see this in writing."
Yeah, it is. It's all there.
I don't have Slack on my fucking shortcuts here. Do I even have Slack on this machine yet?
Oh, Jesus. The ever behind web on getting anything actually, like, technically done on his end.
Dude, I got fucking a pile of laptops here I have to fix. Money.
Yeah.
I have Slack. What up, Louie?
Evening, fellas.
So meanwhile, his office doesn't ever get built. Meanwhile, his computer falls into disarray. Meanwhile, his laptop doesn't work.
Hey, as long as the lady can work and his Xbox works, he's cool. And he has a
laptop.
laptop.
Yeah, speaking of your Xbox working, I put an article up there for you to be able to sign up for the console beta of Rust. That way we can at least get that shit going together again.
Where'd you send that? Over the
Slack.
It's in Slack. You know, the one thing you don't have.
Downloading it right now. I don't know why it's not on the machine. It was here.
Hey, Thump, if you ever want to send it to me in Slack and I don't get back to you in a quick enough time, you could shoot over to Discord and send it over to me there, too. Like,
yeah, I know.
Running all the time, too.
I know.
Me, too. I'm in the Wall Street Reddits all the time. Sign in to Slack. Stupid fucker. Sign in with Google. I just did all this. Thank you. Make it pros. Open Slack. Thank you.
We got some competitive games going on right now.
What is the St. John's score?
Oh, I found the Knicks and Nets game. I forgot the St. John score.
Oh, you're in Jersey. You're not watching the Redmen? Excuse me, the Storm. The Redmen. Jeep can't
I
call.
found the Nets game.
Jeep can't call it a Cherokee or a Grand Cherokee anymore. The Indians today said no more.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the general chat there, Ren. So.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, they're screwing up everything now, aren't they?
Whatever. It is woke nation, cancel culture.
42-25, Nova.
Oh, Christ. All right. I took the over. And Villy, given 11. I knew I should have knocked it down to 8. Didn't pay much, though.
The Devils can't win against the Sabres. Why not?
Let's do or die for St. John's tonight. Lose this game, season's over.
Well, your boys over there at the your boys over there at the post office are winning, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
No, they're not. That's fucking retarded.
Everything in this fucking world is retarded right now. Nothing is fucking.
So, defense contractor Oshkosh got the contract for the postal vehicle. Did you see these buckets?
1 hour after I bought Workhorse on the dip, because I could have swore Workhorse had that. It was all American. Everything would have been built in America, and I'm pretty sure Oshkosh is going to export some of it.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off.
It won't hit the road until 2023, but it's also the most hideous monstrosity of all time.
Yeah, I've never seen it. It's probably going to be built like a tank. Do you have a photo of what it's going to look like?
Here, I got you right here.
Just go to fucking Oshkosh's shit. And they have pictures of their...
Copy the clipboard and post into Web and Ren, I guess. Will work?
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Right?
But it's going to have air conditioning, a radio, and
Woot.
heat.
Sirius satellite.
Woot.
Yes.
Super stoked for that.
I was so hoping they'd go. But, you know, the good side of this, Webby, is Oshkosh is in bed with THCB, which is the battery people that you and I bought into. So, hey, we're getting some piece of it somewhere. At least
there's only like 2 or 3 fucking companies that make batteries, period. That's it.
QuantumScape is one that I'm seriously looking at.
QuantumScape ain't making shit. It's fucking vaporware right now. It's going to be vaporware to 2025. They're making a brand new battery out of glass liquid crystal. Okay, that's 2025. Lithium is the only thing happening right now until someone else comes out with something better. And only 3 people fucking make it. THCMB, whoever the fuck they are, and they make very little, by the way. It's LG and Samsung. Want to buy good stock? Buy Samsung. It's cheap as fuck. Don't understand why it's cheap as fuck. Same thing as BlackBerry. Right. Same thing as BlackBerry. $10. Go buy it. Stock it away. It should be a $25 stock. I don't understand what people don't understand. Someone said to me today, well, they must have too much float. $500 million is not too much float. $500 million shares. Wow. 500 million. It's not a lot.
So the whole reason why USPS went with Oshkosh, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm reading this article. The only reason why they went with Oshkosh is some of them are going to be gas powered.
Yeah. It's gas powered on the new platform that can be upgraded to electric at some point. And then the electric, because
vaporware, just like all the other bullshit that's been spewed down our throats.
Because how many fucking vehicles do you see electrified that can drive 200 miles?
Do they need to drive 200 miles, bro? It's your local mail deliverer.
Yeah, you do. Because you're driving all around, up, down every fucking block.
Your local mail deliverer, my local mail deliverer literally drives, if he drives 5 miles a day, that's a lot.
You package deliveries, the vehicle is still on, even though it's not running, it's still on. You don't shut it off to get out to put the package on your front porch.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Well, maybe not where you live. Where I live, they turn it off. They got to
You're in a complex, so it's a little different. If they got to deliver a package to you, yeah, you're going to shut it off because I got to walk through the.
You're going to lock it. You're going to walk away. Same thing UPS does.
I've never seen any fucking UPS guy lock anything or post office. And
they lock everything in any area I've lived in.
Never.
There's regulations. And they do have to lock. You may not see them locking things. There's auto lockers on some of the slide doors. The cabin door to the back of the vehicle has a different lock system on it. They lock up stuff, guaranteed. It's mandated that they do anytime they have to be within a certain distance away from it.
The other issue with the post office deal was they don't have electric charge capability, which means that network's got to be put in too. So we'll go over here, we'll get some gas cars. You guys finish your electric shit, and while you're delivering us these gas cars, we'll have the fucking electric system put in so we can charge our shits, and then you can start shipping us electric cars.
2 years' time, Workhorse will be making vehicles because Oshkosh won't deliver.
And it's only $825 million out of the $10 billion contract.
Only $825 million?
Yeah.
Still a lot of money, though.
Yeah. And all fucking electric car companies were down today. Fisker, Workhorse,
right?
Highland, Lordstown.
Everybody was down. The entire tech sector was down.
Well, the tech sector is.
Oh, so fires was a problem.
Well, the market correction is happening sector by sector. Okay, we're in the middle of a market correction. If you're a big time holder, you already understand that. If you're a medium to small time holder, you could lose 30% of your fucking portfolio over the next 2 months.
Did you click on that down and scroll down to the slide images that were available for that vehicle?
Yes.
It looks ugly because of the battery flat chassis. The chassis are now low to the ground. Flat.
Even the profile of it.
Yeah, I'm not worried so much about that. I don't understand why there's so much top.
It looks because the biggest problem USPS is having right now is being able to have the capacity to deliver larger packages
like
from
my dog
online
food.
Shippers.
Like my dog food.
Yeah.
Dog food. I bought an exercise bike in the beginning of the pandemic. Granted, it lasted 3 months and I burned it out. But USPS delivered it, and it came in a bike-sized box that the UPS guy had to come to my door and knock on it and go, "Can you give me a hand with this?"
Yeah.
In his little tiny mail truck.
Yeah.
So it's a capacity of dealing with Amazon, WAG. All of my Chewy stuff comes from FedEx. So
yeah, I was gonna say, they're not the sole shipper on that. Because I get a lot of Chewy stuff through our service too.
Well, I guess maybe my area.
Yeah, your area is probably contracted that way. It's just easier for them to run ship. We get dual shippers a lot too, which is really interesting. To get a package that comes through with a FedEx label and a UPS label, but it was because where it was FedEx, and then it hit to an area where it needed to go UPS to get to where it was going. It's weird stuff that goes on.
I had a package not so long ago that shipped out of California FedEx, hit someplace, converted to UPS, and then last mile delivery was done by USPS.
Yeah, I've seen that as well on some shipping orders.
Labels on a package that came to me.
Yeah, I see them come through now where I'm at, and that's hella interesting. Because you're sitting there and you're like,
that is one ugly fucking truck.
It is, man. It is atrocious.
That's not a final design, but
when it says this is what your truck will be.
Hey, Webb, do you remember when Nissan dropped the next-gen New York City taxi and it looked like a bubble on fucking wheels? Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like now.
Yeah, because that was the fucking Nissan fucking minivan that came out. Oshkosh still has to finalize the designs of the mail truck, which is part of the reason for the 2-year wait. It's right there above the slides.
Yeah, but the final designs of a 2-year wait are not going to be trimming this motherfucker down to too much of a different design than what it is now.
I think it'll change a bit, but you're right. I don't think it changes a lot. I think they definitely change the
Hey
notion.
man, I'll tell you what. I don't want to hear shit about the mailman not being able to see you walking across the street with that fucking windshield.
Yeah, no shit. It's like 6 feet above his fucking head. He can see low-flying planes now.
Company I like in the electric last mile is ELMS. They're merging with a SPAC. They've got the focus and capability to deliver delivery vehicles effectively. And they make vans, like normal-looking vans. They're electric.
You are playing a lot in the OTC market right now, aren't you?
No, I'm playing in the SPAC market. And my long-haul stocks. I mean, I took a beating today. I don't really give a shit. I mean,
So did I.
NVIDIA was a shock. Yeah, you.
Wow.
At the end of the day, I was down 177.90, which I know is not
Yeah, no, that's
a lot in your realm.
Look, I lost 11 grand on CCIV alone today.
I think CCIV was a CCIV, Plantair.
Oh, yeah, my
Here,
plastic
I'm looking.
Plantair. Yeah.
CCIV, Plantair, Workhorse. I took a beating on that.
I lost 6% today. 16 grand. All total, it was 16.8 and change.
6.26% is what I lost today.
Yeah, 6.34 is what I lost. Yeah, we're the same losses, just different numbers. It's the same loss.
I went up 0.63 in after hours.
Oh, I made money on Uber. I don't know how.
Oops.
By the way, Hyliion
Yeah, Hylon. Yeah,
is
they
a buy.
They fuck-
1710.
17.10 now after hours.
Yep.
That fucking stock trade.
Oh.
Yeah, 17.16 is the bid. Oh, good. Maybe you can go back up to the 20 I bought it at.
Oh, I got it lower than that.
Yeah.
I got 1850.
And I only got like, I don't know.
And I think tomorrow, depending on what market reaction is, I might buy into Holicity.
Yeah, I know. Holicity. I would have bought that SPAC that went with the fucking Peloton.
FTOC is at 1227 right now. At FinTech stock.
IPOF.
Ion.
IPOF all in. That's the next one. That's the next one to pop.
I'm already in on it.
Yep.
1565 right now. I think I might actually be making money on that. Oh yeah, look at that! I'm making money on that.
Yeah. Where'd you get that at?
1470.
All right. Oh yeah, I'm 4 cents above you. Right. Our trades went in back to back.
No, I put in a limit order right after we hung up the phone. I was
So
like,
did I.
all right.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah.
I think I had it in there for 75 and got it at 74. If I'm not mistaken.
Take a look at MRO.
That's familiar.
Marathon Oil.
Yeah, Marathon. Yeah, I know. You that's free.
Yeah, I got it free.
That was
It
a
cost me
stock.
nothing.
Yeah, it
It's
was
$11.21 a share right now.
$5 when you got it or something like that.
I don't even think it was that. Probably about $2-3. That's generally how it rolls.
I don't know. He got it for nothing, but he doesn't realize that means his cost in is zero. So any profit he makes is taxable.
It's a long haul stock.
Yeah, I know.
Actually thinking about buying more, considering their high was $23.
Well, if it's up right now, see now I would fucking sell it at $11. Okay.
Oh, my one share.
Oil's up.
What are they going to tax me on? What are they going to tax me on an $11 profit?
Short term? Oh, I don't know, 28%, something like that. Oil's up.
Is it short term? I've had it since last summer.
Gotta be 12 months.
I'll hold on.
I guess we know what you did last summer. Oh.
Oil
Yeah,
stocks.
bought a lot of stocks.
Oil stocks are up because the United States is not making oil right now. Look at the price of gas. It's up fucking 30 cents since January.
Yep.
The Texas freeze out fucked the oil industry. Or at least in the United States.
So that was intentional.
It wasn't intentional. It was cutting costs. I understand it. Like, why would you build a windmill in the ocean not even in the ocean, in the Gulf of fucking Mexico, where it never gets lower than 50 degrees, why would you put a heating system in it? You build it with a cooling system, but why would you build it with a heat? So they cut costs. There was a mistake. Somebody learned a valuable fucking lesson. It's the same as if you went to California and built a fucking 8-lane super highway and didn't make it fucking earthquake proof. That's a mistake. You know, how are the windmills in Atlantic City and Cape May doing right now? We just had fucking 28 inches of snow, 30 in some parts. It's been no fucking warmer than what? 32 degrees for the last 3 fucking weeks. Our windmills are working. Atlantic City's got power. They're on their own grid in case people don't know that. That's what, see, Texas is on their own grid too. They said, fuck the national grid. We're building our own. Not ready for prime time, obviously. And we already know that from California, who did the same thing 3 years ago. And what happened to California in the last 3 years? Anybody want to answer that one? What did we hear all summer? Rolling blackouts.
Yes.
Not ready for prime time. What happened in Texas is Texas's fault.
Here's an interesting headline. More solar winds hack victims yet to be publicly identified.
Sure.
Yeah, but we knew that.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
No one can tell you that the election was fucked up. You can't say that. But our entire government has been hacked.
No, we can't.
Our entire government was hacked.
And the crazy thing is the guy from, who was the Dominion? Is that the company?
Yeah, who's suing everybody?
He came on, I turned on CNBC to see if I could find out what was going on with Workhorse. Because I had a feeling that they lost the contract for it to fucking nosedive that quickly.
Yeah.
And
down more after hours.
And I hedged my bet, so my loss is not as terrible as it could be.
Yeah.
I'm learning things. I'm learning how to like minimize your loss somewhat.
Yeah.
He sued the guy from My Pillow.
Yeah. For 1.4.
For 1 point something billion dollars.
Yeah.
And he was on CNBC going, well, this is just a matter of like putting it in the court of law so we can clear the air and
chase everybody away so that no one looks at us and we're good.
He came on there looking very smug and very shady and very like business-like, and I have no skin in the game, so I really don't care. I really don't.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for either one of them, so I don't care.
What about Bezos buying Washington football team?
You know, I wanted to bring that up to you. The whole fucking, I mean,
Did he buy it?
No.
Is that done?
No, there's just a rumor circulating that he may be in part of a thing, and Bruce Allen has been tied to some kind of like defamation plot to negative press the shit out of Washington. So,
see, I can't see Bezos doing that because it's not Washington State.
Yeah.
Just because it says it's Washington, I don't.
I mean, would it
It's like
surprise
a
you if
conundrum
he
for
bought
me.
it
Like,
and moved
this
them?
guy is so like zen in a lot of the things he does that.
Yeah, but would you be surprised if he moved them?
To where? Spokane?
Sure.
Cocaine.
I mean, you already have Seattle, the largest city in Washington State.
Yeah,
I mean,
and if Bezos turns a city into a football city and goes, here you go.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess.
I mean, he's done weird
possible.
shit. I'm just throwing it out there as like some asinine idea. So.
Would you still root for them if they moved to Washington State?
No. Wouldn't be my team.
They'll never. That team could never move. Period.
if Bezos, see you
NFL
got up to get a beer, and Thump's like, if Bezos said, "Come to Spokane, I'm building you Spokane Football City."
NFL would say no
Why?
because it's the Washington Redskins and they've been there since fucking 1912 and it's a national franchise.
They
and
were
that's-
the Boston
Yeah.
Skins in 1936.
yeah, something like
So
that.
they already moved once. Who's to say they can't move again?
Yeah, this would be
This is money, bro. If
Yeah,
Bezos
this is
came
Bezos
in
money,
and
but-
said,
But that's where you lose me on the fan side too. If they do get bought and moved purely on a financial level like that, and the money moves all of that, then the definitely would lose me from that fan base.
The NFL would
have
come.
an 8-Bit Bros, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch video of you burning your jerseys?
No, that's historical. Those would be only recognized as historical memorabilia from a time that used to exist, but I wouldn't be a current.
That's right.
Would
know,
you
look,
would you move to Carolina?
No,
Or would you like open up like, I am Thumping Loud, I am now taking applications for my fandom, NFL teams, please come speak to me as to who would appreciate me as being a fan of your franchise.
I could see me being
Interviews
open
commence on
to
Thursdays.
entertaining the idea of another franchise. I know the history of several of them, so it wouldn't be hard to like enshrine and enthrall myself into another fan base. But I don't know. I just kind of hang out there.
Look, look. I tell you this right now. If Bezos, whatever the fuck his name is, Bezos, was to come in with something like that, I think the NFL would turn around and go, whoa, 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 time out.
Yeah.
We're not moving Washington because it's fucking staple point. Okay, you might as well consider them one of the original fucking 8.
Can I go
Wait,
tit
let
for
me
tat
finish.
with you on this?
Yeah, sure. Let me.
No,
finish.
just tit
Yeah,
for
go-
tat. No,
Alright.
you give me point,
Okay.
I'll give you counter.
Okay.
So your NFL saying me, I'll play Bezos.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that I want to buy this franchise that's in trouble.
Yeah.
And I can't move it. Your AWS rates for the next season are going up 35%.
Yeah. It doesn't matter because here's the better idea. How about we give you your own fucking team in Portland or fucking Washington State? We'll expand.
First of all, Spokane.
Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, it's
give
got to
you
be
your own
Spokane.
fucking- Spokane, Washington.
We've already determined it's got to be in.
You can take the
Just
Spokane.
because it's the only other
Remember,
town
that's a
outside
Washington
of
State.
Seattle that we can
So
pull out of our
let me
ass.
finish. So you can take the fucking Spokane Warriors and turn them into a professional football team. Okay? Build your own fucking stadium. We'll help subsidize it, all that shit. So it's not coming out of your pocket. In the meantime, gives us a chance to expand, and we can open up Mexico City, Toronto, Canada, and Portland, Oregon.
No, Portland,
Yeah.
Oregon, that's off the table. It's too close.
And never. Nope. Portland, Oregon would be the first place. That or San Antonio, Texas.
You're not going to get another Texas football team.
Oh, that's.
No.
Oh, you could easily
I'm-
get another
I'm-
Texas football team.
Oh yeah. How about Oakland, California?
Oakland doesn't want to pay for the stadium. You'll never get a team back there.
Well, you don't have to pay for the stadium. We got.
And you're not going to get
So-
another San Diego team because they don't want to pay for a stadium either.
You're getting Bezos to come in and build a new stadium. Hey, how about you do in Oakland, California? Here you go. Put you right to fucking bay. Well, knock down whatever.
Nah.
Seattle team where someone would move.
The cities that the NFL has always been interested in expanding to are in no particular order: San Antonio, Texas; Mexico City, Mexico. That we know. We see a game there every fucking year now. Portland,
Yeah.
Oregon has been crying for a sports team in all fucking sports for 20 years.
Besides the Trailblazers.
They had the
Right.
Blazers.
Yeah, well, they got the Blazers. They moved. The Blazers moved there. Where were they before then? They weren't in Portland, right? It was somewhere else.
Yes.
They moved them there. Toronto, Canada wants
Yeah.
in. And we know that from all the fucking XFL, AFL, World League, whatever the fuck.
We
teams
know
are-
how many times they've tried to buy Buffalo.
Yeah. And of course, Oakland, California, which has been a staple point of football since the beginning. To not have a football team in Oakland is almost sacrilegious.
Well, talk to Oakland about that because they're the ones. The whole reason why.
Yeah,
the
Oakland
Raiders
is the
left.
reason why Oakland's not there anymore.
Right. And it'll be back, just like Cleveland was out of the game for 10 years, and then it's back.
That's true.
They'll be back.
We'll be back.
Those are the places that the NFL. I mean, Montreal is another place too. Montreal.
No, I don't think Montreal can support anything outside of hockey.
Montreal wants in.
No,
How about London?
too far.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, the logistics
But
on
London
those games.
wants a football team.
Yeah, I know. But I don't.
Logistics on those games still aren't in the wheelhouse of easy.
No, it could be made easy. You could just rearrange how you do bye weeks. London comes over to the U.S., plays their first 4 games in the U.S. Then London goes home and plays 2 on, 2 off, 2 on, 2 off. And all the teams from mainland U.S. that go over to London, the week before they're on bye, they play in London. And in a matter of the course of the season, it wouldn't affect London that badly having to come back and forth. It's a matter of cost.
And
is why the NFL doesn't want to do it.
Look. As far as the San Diego thing, the fucking Dean Spanos tried to strong arm the entire fucking city. Okay, San Diego, perfect place for football. The weather is ideal all year long. The fucking city will lease you the land for $1 over 99 years. $1 a year. I think that's per fucking acre or some shit like that. It's stupid. They'll give you the fucking land. There are a waiting list of people to buy into the NFL. Billionaires, hedge fund managers, waiting. NFL could expand to 8 more fucking teams right now, and the money wouldn't be publicly subsidized. It would be private. $11 billion in stadiums were built over the last couple of years.
Okay, and what's been stopping it?
And $8 billion of that has been privately subsidized money. So the cities aren't even paying for it. What's stopping it is the logistics. London wants a team. Oh yeah, we're gonna play 8 games at home. We're gonna fly back and forth.
Yeah, but the logistics can work out. Just how I explained it.
You need balance also in the league. Got to move teams in the proper areas.
Yeah, but the schedule is made every year, and different divisions play different divisions, and
now we got an odd schedule.
So if they're in the AFC or NFC East, regardless of what team was moved, or you created a 5th team, each one of those teams would have to go across the pond once. So that's 4 games across the pond. You could structure that before a bye week. Every other game out of the 16 games being played, 17 games, excuse me. 16 games being played. So that's 12 more games you could structure bye weeks around. You do it now.
If you're doing overseas, you got to do like 2 on, 2 off.
But you're doing it now. Every team that goes and plays in London has a bye week after.
Yes.
So there would only be 8 games played in London.
Right. Like there's
now you're playing 4. How much of a stretch is it to double that?
I don't know.
It's not a big stretch.
There's cost involved too. They don't have a stadium. They rent them. Cost.
I'm sure if you signed an agreement with Wembley.
Yeah, for 8 games. Okay, yeah. We charged you how much last year for 4? Good. Okay, this year it'll be this much for 8. No discount for you. Give us our own team.
But I'm sure they would get a discount considering everybody's hurting right now after the pandemic.
Yes.
Which really doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. But hey, we can all throw our hands up and say, hey, this is getting better.
It's okay. Cuomo said the other day for you New Yorkers, it's okay to have social distance dances, weddings, bar mitzvahs, Social distance. Oh, I mean, that's like 1920, right? Isn't that the kind of dance you did back in the 20s, where you didn't touch the
What,
person?
Charleston?
Yeah, you would. It was a social distance dance. Here you go. So have your bar mitzvah. Don't blow out the fucking candles.
right.
Make sure
But
Granny.
But the one thing Como's not saying is,
To
hey,
work.
we haven't stopped flights to California, and
Don't start.
we
with
never
me.
stopped flights to California, and oh,
Get me started.
news has just come out that the California strain of this entire pandemic is antibody defiant. So vaccines don't work and all that shit don't work.
Yep. MNRAs don't work. It's going to have to be something more serious than that because that's just memory response.
So now here we are, and
I'm no scientist. I just play.
and I'm no scientist either. I'm just giving the facts as I get them. But
No.
I guarantee you, in 90 days, we're gonna be right back where we were in November.
It's funny you say that because I heard the same information on the conference call over here. From those people.
90 days, we're gonna be right
sooner.
back where we were.
No, I don't think so.
I think sooner than that.
No, I don't think so either. I'll tell you why. We saw the huge spike November, December, January. Why? Thanksgiving, Christmas, Super Bowl.
Well, we haven't even seen Super Bowl yet.
Three Super Bowl. We
haven't seen Super Bowl yet.
What are you talking about? Those were
We'll
your three big.
Super Bowl. Yeah, we'll start seeing Super Bowl now.
I'm saying, maybe now. Yeah, maybe now. So we have nothing until like Memorial Day. Patty's Day is fucking canceled everywhere already. Easter, nobody's really doing Easter. It's not that big of a holiday like Thanksgiving. There'll be people who do Easter. It'll be small. You won't hear about 40 people at Rose's house for Easter. Yeah, no, that was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That was not Easter. That was Thanksgiving. So you got Memorial Day. I think by 4th of July, we are fucked.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I put it
I
out
will
there.
be screwed way
Facebook.
before that.
We're fucked.
Later, brother.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap up. Let's
All right.
right the fuck up.
All right, good night.
Peace out of here. 8-Bit
And
Bros.
say hi to J7 for me.
Yeah, we will. Be good, Louie. 8-Bit
All right.
Bros. Stay we out.